Big Dash knows what?
Hello and welcome to Big Dash Knows. Big Dash knows what? New York Giants football. Let's go. Yesterday was the Super Bowl and today we're right back at it. Right back to it. Time to get on the grind. Time to fix the Giants. This is another episode. Of How to Fix the Giants. And this time I will be talking about the linebacker room. Interior linebackers. And unlike a lot of different positions on the team or a lot of different rooms on the team, I have nothing but good things to say about the interior linebackers. Actually, there might be some critiques, but all in all, a strong performance by the interior linebacker room. And mainly, it was two guys. It was Bobby Okereke. It was Micah McFadden. Luckily, these guys didn't have to deal with any injuries. Bobby Okereke played 100% of the snaps. 100% of the snaps. Him and Xavier McKinney, 100% of the snaps. Did not miss a snap for the entire season, and that's fantastic. It's fantastic. So let's just talk. Well, first off, let me shout out to the Kansas City Chiefs winning the Super Bowl, back-to-back champions. Ben McAdoo was right, and all that good stuff. So salute to them. Travis Kelce, I didn't like how you bumped your coach, but if Andy Reid don't care, Travis Kelce don't care, nobody else should care either, right? Okay, no harm, no foul, right? If you say so. So let's talk about it. Bobby Okereke had a fantastic season. I think he got snubbed for the Pro Bowl. Actually, I don't think he got snubbed. I know he got snubbed for the Pro Bowl. The man had a fantastic season. Probably the best pickup that the New York Giants had as far as a free agent in a lot of years. In a lot of regimes, in a lot of years. So shout out to Bobby Okereke being everything we thought he was going to be. Remember last year, I put out a video. Who could be possible realistic targets for the New York Giants? And Bobby Okereke was on that list. And at the time, I said he's a solid player. He stepped in for Shaq Leonard. Didn't miss a beat. We were able to get our hands on him, and he had a fantastic season, for the Giants. And I will say this too: last year we saw what Micah McFadden looked like. This year, again, standing next to and playing with Bobby Okereke, you saw a jump from Micah McFadden as well. So I'm gonna go from Bobby Okereke again. Shout out to Bobby Okereke. Round of applause for Bobby Okereke. Thank you for your service. Thank you for what you've done. And the New York Giants are not looking for a linebacker because of Bobby Okereke. Now let's move on to Micah McFadden. Now, if you guys are also fans of the channel and been following me and rocking with me for a while, you already knew I was picking Darian Beavers over Micah McFadden. I am a big believer of Darian Beavers. I was hurt by the knee injury. He tried to fight and come back, ultimately couldn't do it, ended up getting cut by the New York Giants, and then put on the practice squad, allowed some time to heal and this and that and the third. But despite all that, I want to say to Micah McFadden, I apologize, and I already did that already. Micah McFadden did a fantastic job for Micah McFadden's standards. I think he did a great job for Micah McFadden's standards. He was able to make plays. He was able to do some things. If I want to critique Micah McFadden, it was a couple of missed tackles in there. You always seem to be in the right place at the right time or around the ball, but sometimes you just didn't finish. And I think that, if you continue to get stronger, if you continue to work on your craft, you'll take that next step. And the New York Giants might have a solidified interior linebacker group as far as the starters go. I think we're working with something. A little bit of a weakness as far as Micah McFadden in coverage. He's not the best guy you want covering, but that's not his role. I don't believe it should be his role. And if you wanted to get a deep down breakdown of the linebackers, I believe Talking Giants, Bobby and Justin, they just did a breakdown of the linebackers. This was the next episode for me, so that's why I'm talking about the linebackers now. So thinking about the other guys that are on this team right now currently, I thought Darian Beavers, was going to be here in 2024. He signed that 4-year deal, rookie contract, but when he got cut by the Giants at the beginning of this season, he ended up signing just a 1-year deal. So I thought Darian Beavers was on the squad. He's actually a free agent this year, so I don't know if we're going to pick him up or not. But we'll see what happens with that. And then Deontay Johnson is the only other notable interior linebacker that the New York Giants have on a roster right now. Deontay Johnson was a UDFA that we picked up, showed some good promise, more of a camp body than anything else, but showed some potential. So we'll see what happens with that. So let's talk about the free agents that the New York Giants have as far as interior linebackers. Number one on that list, everybody knows the name. He came in, played pretty well, had some good plays, flash a bit, and that's Isaiah Simmons. Isaiah Simmons is a guy that a lot of New York Giants fans want to sign, including myself. I want to bring back Isaiah Simmons. And then you know what I did? I went on Spot Rack like I always do. I looked up his market value. And again, these numbers are just what they have for these players. I saw a 16 in front of Isaiah's name. $16.6 million per is the market value for Isaiah Simmons. So with that being said, nice to know you, Isaiah Simmons. I appreciate everything you did. I think you flashed. I think you really had a home here, or started to have a home here. Wink was able to use you successfully. But for $16.6 million, no way you are a New York Giant moving forward. No way. No way that happens. Now, here's the thing. We already know Spot Rack has a tendency to be wrong in some cases. We saw them update the market value on Saquon Barkley just a week ago from 6.6 to, I believe it was 9.9. And who knows what really Saquon Barkley's going to get. But yeah, it's nothing set in stone when you're talking about Spot Rack, especially when you're talking about market values. But I do go to Spot Rack as far as roster positions and also free agencies and current contracts, because all that information is pretty current and accurate. So Isaiah Simmons, man, I wish we could, but for $16.6 million, nah. And right now, the way that Micah McFadden is playing, I'd rather go with a cheaper route. Also because we don't have any money. And also try to do it maybe through the draft. But let's look at some of these other guys. We got Carter Coughlin, played inside linebacker, also a little bit outside linebacker. We got Cam Brown, that's also leaving. Both of those guys are pretty good in special, well, actually really good in special teams. Will one of those guys earn a contract going into the 2024 season? No. So when I'm looking at the free agent list, now these are other teams' free agents as far as linebackers go, and we, obviously going to have cap casualties that come along a little bit later once we get closer to when free agency starts. And I'm looking at this list like, you know what? I'm actually really, really happy because the New York Giants aren't necessarily looking for a starter in this position room when it comes to linebackers. I believe that Bobby Okereke has a possibility to be an All-Pro next year. Definitely got the opportunity to be a Pro Bowler and definitely got a chance to be better, and I think he can do that. We have a new defensive coordinator, and I'm curious to see how he uses Bobby Okereke. Micah McFadden. I'm not mad at Micah McFadden as the starter next to Bobby Okereke. Not mad at all. Does he need to improve in certain areas? Absolutely. But when I was looking at all these different position rooms in the episodes that I've done already, it was always, a possible starter, a possible guy that could be in that rotation, getting a lot of snaps. But when I look at this middle linebacker room, I'm happy. I'm happy with Bobby Okereke, actually very happy with Bobby Okereke, and I'm curious to see how Micah McFadden grows. Now, if you want to bring back a guy, go ahead and bring back Darian Beavers and see what you can do, see if he can add to the room. It's not going to cost you a lot of money. Not going to cost you a lot of money at all. There's another free agent, Mac Wilson, Roll Tide, New England, free agent, won't cost you a lot of money. Another guy that's not looking to be a starter, might, want to push to be a starter, but can also give you some quality snaps possibly. Then it's, Mac Wilson. And other than that, like I say in all of these videos, and these How to Fix a Giant videos, we have to see what we can do in the draft. Now, interior linebacker is not high on the priority list for the New York Giants. So you're not looking at any of these, day one names at middle linebacker. And the funny thing is, it's really not any interior linebackers that should go that high anyway. But in day two, you do have some targets. And I do have my handy dandy notebook. And then my handy dandy notebook has now been a jumbo, turned into a jumbo notebook. But I do have some names. All right, so you're looking at the number one prospect, and I go back and forth with the number one prospect. Again, we're talking interior linebackers, and I haven't watched too much Texas A&M. So Edgerrin Cooper, when I saw his name, really not familiar with Edgerrin Cooper. And again, I have not been looking at a lot of interior linebackers unless they been on some film that I watched when I was watching other players. And you'll see one of those names later. But Edgerrin Cooper out of Texas A&M, versatile tackling machine. can do everything you need him to do. Most likely would be a starter, maybe not day one, but could possibly, if the situation is right, be a day one type starter at interior linebacker. Another notable name from Clemson is Jeremiah Trotter Jr. Little undersized as far as height goes. Solid, got the good weight, has instincts, has that pedigree. His father did play. Obviously, if you're a New York Giants fan, you know Jeremiah Trotter Sr. and where he played. I don't want to talk about that team at all. But he's another name on the list, and I have him listed as a possible guy that might fall. I think he's going to be a day 2 guy, but he could possibly fall into day 3, early day 3, though. I don't see him getting out of like the 3rd round. Still some good talent there. And then there's a wild card with a guy at NC State named Peyton Wilson. Now, for Peyton Wilson, has an injury history, but the thing I like about him the most is he's a talker, and he backs it up. That's what I like about linebackers. If you got that, if you're the type that talk, but you can also back it up, I love that, especially for the linebacker room. And I like his energy. He's another guy that could be a possible day 2 guy. But with that injury history, I could see him sneaking into the 3rd round too. But probably not far past that. Now, if I'm looking into day 3, I got names like Cedric Gray out of UNC. You guys can go ahead and look that up. Only reason why I know about him is looking at Drake May tape and Tez Walker tape and stuff like that. Also from LSU, again, watching Neighbors and watching Thompson and watching Jaden Daniels, of course. I was able to see this guy, Omar Spates, out of LSU. Another, sideline to sideline type of guy, gives you that type of versatility. And then lastly, I got a sleeper out of Penn State. And again, this is me watching, of course, Chop Robinson, Adisa Isaac, guys like that. The tight end, Johnson, also at Penn State. And it's Curtis Jacobs. Curtis Jacobs, another interior linebacker, versatile guy, can be a coverage type linebacker as well. A 3rd down guy, if you need to get Micah McFadden off the team, not off the team, but off the field on those passing downs, that's a guy that can possibly go in there. But with this new DC, you know that he likes to play 3 safeties, so you're probably only going to see 1 linebacker anyway in those certain situations. But that's going to be some of the names as far as the draft goes. And again, these videos, it's the same message. We have to continue to build, within the draft. And this is one of those positions where I can say we might go the whole draft without drafting an interior linebacker. I can see that absolutely happening because, we're pretty much set with the starters. And then you can always go the UDFA route. You can always sign a lower level free agent that's not going to cost you any money. You can also try to bring back some of the guys you had, i.e. Darian Beavers, and we'll see what happens with that. And again, I'm hoping that they give Darian Beavers another shot because I still think he's a guy that can show some things and actually add some value as a rotational guy, or whether it be middle linebacker or also outside, give you some edge pressure as well. So a versatile guy like that will be fantastic for the New York Giants to have, and that's my agenda when it comes to Darian Beavers because, again, I'm not giving up on that guy for sure. But that's going to be the video. I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation. Let's go.